you have opinions on remakes of games? There's remakes coming out all the time now. The only remake that I have played was Resident Evil 4. And after playing the remake of that, I cannot imagine going back to play the original. Like, I don't think I could even I don't think I could tolerate it at this point. And I used to love that game. But now, like, the spot that was once occupied by the original Resident Evil 4 in my heart has been completely usurped and replaced by the Resident Evil 4 remake. So it seems like video game remakes are pretty different than movie remakes, at least based on the limited experience of me playing that one game, because in my opinion, they blew the original out of the water. So I've almost, I can't even think of a time I've seen a remake of a film where I was really super impressed. Maybe The Thing, the John Carpenter version of The Thing versus the Howard Hawks version, which I get that there's like a lot of people who really like that version as well. I've heard Quentin Tarantino praise that version of the film. I heard James Rolfe praise that version of the film. As far as I'm concerned, that version of the film sucks. It's boring as shit. It's dumb. It's goofy. It's, I don't know. I can't even get remotely into it. But whatever. The remake is great. But I don't even necessarily consider that a remake. I kind of just consider that a different adaptation, because they're both adapted from the same short story, which is not called The Thing. It's called like Who Goes There or whatever. I don't think that's the right title, but it's something along those lines. And yeah, I don't know. Whereas the video game remakes, it seems like a lot of those are good. I've heard the Resident Evil... Oh, I've also played the Resident Evil 2 remake, which was awesome. So I've not played the Resident Evil 3 remake because I heard that it actually kind of sucks. And I was thinking about picking up the Resident Evil 1 remake, but at this point I'm thinking they might remake it again. So maybe I'll wait for the next remake. I know they're doing a Silent Hill 2 remake that I'm kind of interested in, because Silent Hill 2 was pretty much my favorite game in that series. So it'd be interesting to see what they could come up with for that. But yeah, I wish the Resident Evil 4 remake stayed true to the campy nature of the original a little more. No, I was fine with the tone. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times the campy nature of the original was unintentional because they just were like botching the tone. On October 6th, the Deep Fat Fried live show and meetup is coming to Las Vegas, featuring TJ, Scotty, Paul's Ego, musical guest The God Bombs. Get your tickets now, available in the description section down below. Be there or be dead. Or square. If anything, John Carpenter's version was way more true to the original novella. Yeah, what was that called? Do you remember what that was called? I'm assuming you must if you've read it, you know. Was it called Who Goes There? Was it called something along those lines, right? Or was that the title? Resident Evil 1 Remake is still a fantastic game. Well, the thing is that I never really cared that much for the first Resident Evil game at the time. Like, I loved 2, I liked 3, I loved 4, I hated 5, I never played anything beyond 5, because I just thought 5 sucked so much ass. By the way, please do not remake 5. Like, unless you're going to just don't remake 5. Don't do that. I heard 6 somehow was even worse than 5. It was called Who Goes There. You got it right the first time. Wow, cool. And I have a little bit more faith in myself, apparently, because I got it right, but I was filled with doubt. I thought, I must be wrong about that. There's no way that my brain summoned that up correctly. Yeah, but I don't know. I did not like the 50s version, the Howard Hawks version. I thought that was like a total piece of shit, and I really don't understand how anyone could enjoy it. But I guess some people do. Some people. I mean, Quentin Tarantino, for fuck's sake. I mean, I don't know if Quentin Tarantino's name carries the same weight with all of you that it does me. But I have a tremendous respect for that guy as a filmmaker, and apparently he thinks that's a decent film, or even a good one. But for me, man, I think that movie sucks. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, what's so good about it? Oh well. Maybe I was in the wrong mood when I saw it. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'll see a movie in the wrong mood, and then I'll watch it again later and be like, oh, I get it. Maybe it'd be one of those. Also, just maybe not. I'm not really a big fan of that 1950s, 1960s era of horror. I like 70s horror. I like 80s horror. To a lesser extent, I like 90s horror. And I like a lot of the underground horror that gets made today. Not super underground, but the stuff that's kind of like one rung below the mainstream. Because the mainstream horror of our time all kind of just is like boo haunted house bullshit. Just rah, 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 jump scares galore. And that's it. I'm not like a person that just inherently on the jump scare, by the way. I think jump scares can be done really well and really artfully. You know, beautiful way to suddenly release the tension after building up a lot of suspense. But none of these movies do it artfully or gracefully or interestingly. It's always just like quiet moment, quiet moment, quiet moment. Quiet moment. Oh my God. Okay. Quiet moment. Quiet moment. Oh, you know, that's it. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of lame. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't jump at it. I know when it's coming. I could call it down to the microsecond. I could sit there and just be like, okay, and jump scare. Bah! Yeah, I was right. Oh, the 80s remake of the Blob is way better than the 50s Blob. That's true. So there's another one where the remake does kind of surpass the original. I don't hate the 50s version of the Blob, though. I still like that film. It's goofy. You know, it's not as good.